The Fall Force or the 10.4 update is upon us. Released on September 27th, 2023, this is the second update in the post-seasonal era of Fall Guys. We'll be breaking down the big changes along with the little ones that you missed. Let's go over the changes to the round pool, starting with the maps that got unvaulted. Button Bashers, Some Fruit, Penguin Pool Party, Puzzle Path, and Tiptoe Finale will be released from the vault. And unfortunately, Egg Scramble will get vaulted due to an exploitable bug and where golden eggs will look the same as the regular eggs. Tiptoe Finale would appear in squads at the start of Fall Force. However, about a week into the update, it would get removed from squads due to a bug making it to where the last 4 rows all had fake tiles, making it impossible to beat. This bug is only in squads, so the map is still in duos. With that in mind, here's the updated round pool. 72 rounds are in solos, 50 of them are core rounds or rounds made in Unity, and 22 of them are creator made rounds. Squads has 53 core rounds, and finally duos has 47 core rounds. The last time Some Fruit was in the game was back in Season 7 or Season 1 free-for-all. It got vaulted on September 15th, 2022, so over a year ago. Personally, I'm happy to see Button Bashers back. I loved that round. One of those maps where you gotta practice and once you get the hang of it, it's a blast. On October 3rd, 2023, Fame Pass 5 or the Trick or Yeet Fame Pass released. The pass would release 6 days into the update, which I find a little strange at first, but since it's Halloween themed, it released in October makes more sense now. The pass costs 600 Showbucks and contains 160 tiers, which is currently the most amount of tiers that a Fame Pass has contained, though the Season Pass would contain 200 tiers while costing 950 Showbucks. When compared to the Warriors of Light Fame Pass or Fame Pass 4, that pass also costs you 600 Showbucks. However, Trick or Yeet has 60 more tiers and contains 8 alternative costumes. 2 of them are for the Bat-tastic costume and 2 are alternative costumes for the Clockwork Calamari skin. Fame Pass 4 only had 1 alt and that was for the Fat Chocobo skin. Although the costume given out in the free progression path was a proper full skin in Fame Pass 4, however the one in Fame Pass 5 is a half costume. At least I think so anyways. I was going to talk about the bugs much later in the video, but I feel like it's important to mention them now. First, I'll talk about some bugs that I personally encountered, and for reference, I play on the PC port, more specifically the Steam version. The one that I noticed right away was the Fall Guys mouse cursor is gone. Instead, it shows the Windows cursor instead. I play with a PS4 controller, so this change isn't something that affects me personally and only appears in the main menus. It is a visual bug, but I hope they can fix this as soon as possible. When spectating on squads and duos, the squad leaderboard moves up and the view names text stays on screen. In previous updates, the view names text wouldn't be there, and as a result, the text is overlapping with the squad leaderboard. Not sure this bug is present in other ports, but it's present in the PC port. The auto grab feature is bugged. If you have the setting turned off, it'll still be on. You have to go to the settings, turn it on, hit apply, then turn it off and apply settings again, and it should be disabled, but even when I do that, it still doesn't disable it. While having auto grab on doesn't really hinder you that much, if anything it benefits you in certain situations. However, there is some stress that you can't perform. For example, in Skyline Stumble, when you're at the low gravity section, it's faster to dive onto the first platform, but with auto grab, it latches onto the edge and then it just drops you. Another example is in Airtime, auto grab latches onto the trapeze, but it drops you soon after. This is especially annoying in some creator made rounds where they have steps and auto grab just latches onto a ledge randomly. Certain faceplates are glitched out. Here you can see this golden witch and their plate is all kinds of messed up. You can see it while spectating someone, but you can also see it during the qualification box screen as well. This bug only happened to me once, and it's whenever I started showing customs, it just doesn't. It just says attempting to start show and connecting to a server and just nothing. I've literally stayed on this screen for over 10 minutes and it just didn't do anything. When previewing the hide and seek celebration, the contents in the flask is black. This is true if you previewed in the cosmetics menu as well. However, during an actual game, the potion is green, which is what I'm assuming it's supposed to be. The only bug I could personally find in creative mode is that when you first enter into a digital lithium round you previously made, it changes the skybox to the original background. This bug appears to be exclusive to creative maps, but when you dive, it slightly zooms in. I don't think this is intentional as it only happens in creator made rounds, but I do think it's a bug. Blast balls explode a lot quicker than it did before, whereas before they lasted like 3 seconds. I have no idea this is the bug, but I'll assume it is since to my knowledge they've never changed the explosion time. This could just be me, but they feel a little stronger too. In Track Attack, you can hear the sound effect of the speed arch loop a few times. meaning you can hear it a few times even though you should have only heard it once. In Blastlantis, at the start of the round, the hammer at the bottom abruptly snaps into position. It only does this once and at the very start of the round. The same can be said for the bridges at Hoopsie Legends. At the very start of the match, the bridge will just snap into position. Also, according to this comment, the drawbridges in Egg Siege and Night Fever also do the same thing. Night Fever and Egg Siege are vaulted as of the making of this video. If you go into the cosmetics menu and to the nameplates, the white stroke around the plate isn't evenly spread. This was fixed in the 10.0 update, but it's unfortunately back. Sometime in Season 10, a glitch was discovered where you could overlap obstacles. Normally, this wouldn't be possible, so tons of people were using the overlapping glitch to make phenomenal maps, and to the point where Mutonic actually started to feature maps with the overlapping glitch. However, with the 10.4 update, they actually disabled the possibility of overlapping obstacles. Here's what they said on their Twitter page. Quote, "The new update has unintentionally disabled the possibility of overlapping obstacles. We are investigating rolling this back, further update soon." End quote. So being able to overlap was a glitch, then it became a feature, then it became something that he patched out. And now they're gonna roll that back. So it seems like the overlapping glitch is now a advanced feature, it seems. Futuresy here. While playing a game of extreme solos, I was in a round of hoverboard heroes and a guy grabbed me and my game just froze and I was just stuck in this camera angle and I just disappeared. I was unable to move at all. The music was still playing and the game was still going. I could see the fan moving, so that means the game didn't just outright crash or anything, and I just had to wait until the round was over. I couldn't do anything. I don't think I'll be able to replicate this bug, unfortunately, but let me know if you guys have encountered something similar. While going to the show selector, I noticed that Chain Reaction's little icon or the co-op tag on Chain Reaction specifically is actually bugged. You can actually see the builder icon is actually overlapping with the actual new co-op tag that they added in 10.4. The builder icon is used to denote LTMs or limited time modes that use Fall Guys Creative, like the Creator Round playlist that was featured at the start of Season 10 or at the 10.0 update, the ongoing Digi Shuffle selection. I made a community post asking you guys if you found any bugs in the 10.4 update, and oh boy did you guys deliver. I'll be flashing them on screen as I speak, and just, oh my god, I just did not expect this update to have this many bugs, but at the same time, it is Mutonic, so why am I surprised? One of the biggest bugs is that when opening up the game either on PC, PlayStation, or Switch, it's stuck on the start screen, the one right before you get into the main menu. A workaround, according to Fall Guys Owl, is to unplug your controller, then boot up the game. Now here's a completely different bug that's exclusive to the PS5 port or the PS5 version of Fall Guys. Once you pass the start screen, the loading spinner will show up and it will just stick to the home screen and you can't do anything to get rid of it. This also happens once you complete any kind of show. As previously mentioned, this is entirely different from the unplug your controller bug that people have been getting. This happens once you get past the start screen, and according to a comment left by Alex Lockwood, this has happened before the 10.4 update, but is still present. A way to get around this is to install the PS4 version of Fall Guys and play that on your PS5. Another PS5 specific bug that's affecting a minority of players is that when using inverted camera settings, it completely breaks the camera. If you have invert vertical turned on, you're unable to move the camera up and down. This also happens in creative mode as well. Even though majority of the player base probably doesn't even use an inverted camera, this is still huge. Imagine having a setting turned on for the entire time you play a game and just one day breaks an essential part of your game, which is moving the camera. For some players, they just can't adjust using a normal camera, which makes the game unplayable for them. The two bugs that I mentioned only happen on the PS5 version of Fall Guys. If you install the PS4 version of the game, you won't encounter these bugs. Thanks to Alex Lockwood for letting me know about these bugs and also the PS4 workaround tip. Now this bug was something I legitimately did not notice and I just can't unsee it now. The podium in the lobby screen isn't centered. Just why? Now here's a map specific bug, more specifically Skyline Stumble. The buttons on the force field section of the maps are bugged. The second gate on the left side isn't open by default. Here's what it looked like before the 10.4 update. It requires 2 jumps to open it, and plus the last button on the right side takes 2 jumps to open the gate on the right. Creative mode isn't safe either. I've experienced this bug only once. When I was loading into a round that I made, it started a new one instead, and it seems like I wasn't the only one affected by it. The carryable punchers can add wonky if you're throwing and grabbing it. You will get affected by it even though you're holding onto it. If you grab a glove and drop it, it'll still activate even though it shouldn't. If you have a beam barrier on a delay or a platform or a box near it, you can jump dive, grab, and go through the beam barrier entirely. According to this commenter, Switch players can't save nor delete their rounds. Before the 10.4 update, I made a round to test something and I tried to delete it but it wasn't working. Even when the 10.4 update came out, I still couldn't delete that round, but eventually a few days later I was able to delete it. So even though I don't play on the Switch, I did experience this bug as well. This commenter found this bug on the PS4 version. When you change the length or width of a bridge that you placed, the edges get separated from the bridge itself. Swinging back to the PS5 version, as previously mentioned, when you finish any kind of show, the loading spinner will keep on spinning and you're unable to do anything. Closing your game is the only option, it seems. I'm sure there are far more bugs I didn't mention, but I don't want this to be another 1-hour video. I'll link the community post I made in the description and in the comments as well. Also, if I missed any changes or bugs or whatever, just comment below and let me know. With the 10.4 update, Fall Guys Creative received a lot of changes. Currently, we still only have one mode, that being race, and only 2 themes unfortunately. Yeet added a few new obstacles, the first one being the circular platform. It comes in 3 different colors and 2 sizes, medium and large. It reminds me of the Roombas you can find in Frantic Factory, well more specifically the ones without the buttons. Out of all the objects added, it's the least exciting, but it's nice to see something that isn't a rectangle, so there's that. Out of all the things they added, the speed arch was not something I thought they would add so soon, but I'm glad they did. You can adjust the speed from normal, fast, and very fast, along with changing how long the burst of speed you get lasts. You can make it last for a short, medium, or long duration. If you get enough of a boost, which you can achieve by going through multiple arches, you can pass by blizzard fans set to strong, which is good to know I suppose. The carryable family has a new member. The carryable puncher makes its debut in the 10.4 update, in both forward and upwards punching flavors. Here you can see me punching this block all the way to the bean barrier, which we'll touch on soon. This can be used to punch players as a way to push buttons that may be far away, for example. Whenever they add survival mode, I could see people making maps where you gotta try and knock each other off the map. It's gonna be a lot of fun when that mode comes out. These next items are game changers, and those being the buttons and pressure plates. By themselves, they don't do much of anything. However, here's where the real magic begins. You're able to connect or link them to specific obstacles, and one of them being the new bean barrier, which can act like either a bridge or a wall depending on how you rotate them. Moreover, you're also able to connect these triggers to blizzard fans and conveyor belts. For example, you can change the direction of the belt by jumping on a button, or you're able to switch the fan on and off by getting on a pressure plate, or you can throw a block on top of a pressure plate and it'll stay triggered. All you have to do is hover over the link icon and drag it to the compatible objects. Currently, the blizzard fan, bean barrier, and conveyor belts are the only compatible object, while the cannon is also an object you can link. It has a toggle setting, but when I tried to connect a button or a pressure plate, it didn't connect. What's really incredible about this is that you can link multiple objects with one trigger. It's very simple to set up, however pretty powerful in the right hands, and it'll get even better as they add more triggers and linkable objects. This really is a game changer, and I can totally see some incredible maps being made with just buttons, plates, and linked objects. Yeet has allowed us to change the skybox or background of our levels with the background selector. They added 3 backgrounds, those being medieval from season 2, future from season 4, and Halloween, which was first seen in Treat Thieves, a revamped version of Sweet Thieves made for Halloween. Since it's October when I'm recording this video, it makes sense why they added this. The backgrounds are 2D, which gives them a more of a wallpaper-esque feeling. It's really noticeable in season 4's skybox. It just feels fake in a way. Do correct me if I'm wrong, however, but the backgrounds used in the Unity rounds are 3D, correct? Like Skyland's Temple uses a 3D skybox, for example. Either way, it's nice having this option. In total, we have 5 themes you can switch between. It feels weird but surreal seeing digital objects with the classic skybox. They also decrease the budget on some obstacles. The speed bump and padded block, triangle, and semicircle have been reduced from 5 to 2, checkpoint from 25 to 15, and the start line from 20 to 10. The first start line is free, but additional ones will cost you. They would also add more colors to the padded floor. I believe they also added more colors in general because I think the padded block also has the new colors. They added 12 new colors. When creative mode came out back in season 10, it only had 4: blue, magenta, purple, and yellow. Most people won't think about this, but color is very underrated when it comes to making maps. Thank you to these lovely folks for answering my question on Twitter I had regarding the colors they added. As Fall Guys Owl only said they added new colors, but not how many nor what they were. Classic wasn't the only theme to get new content. Let's move on over to the digital theme. They added the bowl platform from the Summer Breeze update. This was originally only added to Classic theme, but not anymore. In the blocks and barriers page, under the curved edge, the curved divider has been added. Though it was strange to only see its inclusion in the classic theme, but now it's also in digital. The sloped barrier, which was only in classic, is now in digital. The padded mount got added as well. And the last obstacle to get ported over from an old update is the bounce board. I quite like the blue color scheme, not gonna lie. Although currently the pillar, trench, and hoop platform aren't here. Hopefully they'll get added soon. And thankfully every object that got added in the Fall Force update is here. So speed arches, buttons, pressure plates, circular platform, beam barrier, and cable puncher are all accounted for. In the creator menu, they added a percentage sign next to the number when changing the qualification percentage, which makes sense. And also the option for changing the skybox is present. This change is an interesting one. You can skip the playtest and the map will be published and will display a untested tag, but it can only be completed by someone in custom shows. According to Fall Guys Owl, this was so if a map took multiple people to complete, you can skip the test and have multiple people play the round in a custom show. If they qualify, the map will be fully published and after a few hours have its untested tag removed. They also added a keybind for skipping the playtest. I'm not gonna lie, this has me kinda worried because before this, even if a map was a co-op map, you, the creator, had to complete the map and qualify. Currently, only one player can work on a round. Either way, with this change, it's going to be harder for people to play co-op maps with randoms. Since people will now make maps, you would definitely need multiple people to qualify. It's great if you're in a well-coordinated squad, but not so much if you're relying on randoms. Let me know how you guys feel about this change. And moving on, a minor change to the creator menu. The leave icon has been changed to a door. It's more softer and rounder as the other icon changes made as update. Along with that, the audio settings icon has been changed as well. In the creator load screen, they made the black rectangles longer and centered them. If you have a round that has unpublished changes, they'll now move to the start of the first page. However, once the round has been published, it'll move back to where it was before. Those are the main changes I could find in creative mode. If I missed anything, let me know. While on the theme of creative, let's look at the creator made rounds themselves. When a round is about to start, you'll now see a bar at the bottom left telling you the name of the round along with the description of what to do. This isn't anything new, it's one of the things you always see before playing a Unity made map. Honestly, it's a change, a very minor change that most won't care about, but it's one small step towards making the round feel like a normal core round. A core round, for those who don't know, are maps made in Unity. So Big Fans, DoorDash, Really Gig are some core rounds. Apologies for getting off track, and speaking of track, every single soundtrack has been added to creative. We don't have any way of selecting what music plays when creating or publishing a round, so it's random. Before this update, 7 tracks would play whenever you were playing a creator made round. Tentacle Tantrum used to play on creative maps made by Miatonic, but they removed it around the start of season 10. While the creator made rounds will still reset every 2 weeks, however they will do so on Wednesday rather than on Thursday. Future is here, so about that. As you know, the 10.4 update came out on a Wednesday and creator made rounds normally reset every 2 weeks. So for the first 3 weeks of the update, creator and player made rounds that came out would actually reset on a Wednesday, but normally they actually reset on a Tuesday. On October 17th, which is a Tuesday, Miatonic published 4 player made rounds to the show selector, those being Beanie Golf, Speedy Bros, From Bottom to Top, and Speedrun Snack. Weirdly enough, those rounds are going to have a timer of like 1 week, which is going to reset on the 24th, which is a Tuesday. It's kind of odd that they actually have a timer of 1 week. I think the last time rounds actually had a timer of 1 week was back in season 10 or when season 10.0 released. Currently, there are 4 creator made rounds that release on a Wednesday or on October 11th, those being Super Crazy Level, Lily Lovers, El Hermosa, and Rainbow Road. However, those rounds are going to reset on the 24th of October, which is a Tuesday. However, after the 24th of October, creator made rounds are going to once again reset on a Tuesday. So the first 3 weeks of the Fall Force update, rounds reset on a Wednesday, but that was an exception, I suppose, and not the actual rule. Oh my god, I cannot believe I've been working on this video for 4 freaking weeks, man. I just want to be done with this video and move on. Oh my god. Oh man, no one's gonna care about an update breakdown after the update. It's been out for almost a month. Oh my god, I'm so stupid, man. The weekly LTM will still reset on Thursdays. This update marks the first time a single player has 2 rounds featured in the show selector. User Pinky Girl would have 1 round featured at the end of the Summer Breeze update, that being Conveyor Conundrum. Then on the first week of Fall Force, their round So You Think You Can Bounce will get added to the show selector. Although another player who goes by the name David_TKKN would have 2 of their rounds featured in the show selector as well. I Olympi was the first of David's rounds to get featured. Then on the second week of Fall Force, River Paradise would also get added to the show selector. With the Summer Breeze update, the UI and theme didn't change all that much from Season 10. They did add the ability to emote in the lobby, which did introduce a new emote UI, and the button to open the challenge board changed, but everything else remained the same. However, with the 10.4 update, that is no longer the case. When opening the game on PC, the art on the Epic anti-cheat pop-up has changed to reflect the new theme. Along with the start screen has a new background, logo, and new chime. On the load screen, we're greeted with some new key art. The background used in the map loading screen has changed to the blue that's seen in the main lobby screen. With these changes, it really feels like Season 10 is truly over. Let's move on to the lobby screen. The background has changed to this blue color and the patterns have changed as well. It seems like this will be the theme going forward. According to this blog post made by Yeet, it says the following, quote, "You may also notice that we have chucked on a fresh coat of paint, sporting our brand new theming for Fall Guys moving forward," end quote. They now changed how numbers are displayed. The numbers are now written with a decimal separator, or a comma if you're in English-speaking countries. However, if you're playing in Spanish, you'll see a dot as a separator. If you're playing in French, you'll see a space in where a comma or dot will be in other languages. Here you can see how the numbers were displayed before and after. This change affects the entire game, from the store to the Faint Pass and everywhere in between. Overall, I find this change odd at first, but I quickly grew to like it, making them much easier to read. The icons on the top nav bar have changed as well. They look a lot more round and soft. The Cosmetics tab still has remnants of the clothes hanger, which makes the new one feel like an evolution rather than a full-on change. Also, the wrench is slightly thicker. Although the Faint Pass icon has gone through a rework, wasn't a fan of it at first, but it's grown on me a little. However, the icon changes don't stop there. In the settings page, they've changed as well, and continue the rounded and soft aesthetic. Now back to the lobby. In the top left, the black bar below the crown rank graphic has changed. The numbers now use a different font entirely. The font previously used was Titan 1. However, with the Fall Force update, they've changed it to ASAP 1. More specifically, ASAP 1 bold. They would also make the crown next to the text much smaller. Along with that, they also made the black bar itself smaller to compensate for the changes. However, that's not all. The nameplate also has been shifted down slightly. Let's move down a little bit and onto the past progress bar. The change is extremely subtle. In the Fall Force update, the open party text is slightly larger, and the space between letters has changed as well. It's one of those things where I'll have to show you the before and after a few times, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. You can also see the change in text for the emotes and also on the challenge board. You can especially see the changes to the spacing of the letters. It's one of those things that you just can't quite describe. The only noticeable text change is the crown counter on the top left. With the 10.0 update, Yeet would actually fix being able to open the party menu with the controller. However, pressing the tab key on PC wouldn't open the menu. Even on the 10.3 update, this was broken. However, on September 28th, or one day after the Fall Force update, you're now able to press tab and it'll open the party menu. Let's head onto the show selector now. In terms of UI changes, the key art on the top left has been swapped to the new one that's also used in the round loading and anti-cheat pop-up. The featured text is slightly transparent. It could be a bug, but could also be there because they got rid of the purple smoke that would be on the left side of the screen. Another UI change is that they would give the co-op tag its own icon, whereas before, co-op rounds would be denoted with the star, the same one as a special tag. Other than that, there's not much changes. Let's hop on over to custom lobbies. They would overhaul the show selector, making the box much wider along with the show names themselves. I'm not gonna lie, I like the old one better. I just feel there's more wasted space, but other than that, there are no other visual changes I could find. The challenge board only has a few minor changes. The progress bar now has a white inner glow to make it stand out more. The third and fourth challenges in the daily have been swapped around. Along with that, the second and fifth challenges have been swapped as well. Also, the text on the challenges themselves has been changed slightly, just like the ones on the lobby screen. The store has received some changes as well. They added a new bundle of showbucks that gives out 600 showbucks and costs $4.79. Futuresy here, and apparently it's $4.99 and not $4.79 like I originally said. However, I went to the PlayStation Store and it says it's $4.79. However, I decided to open a different tab and I found it's $4.99. So I'm not really sure what to say. For now, I guess I'll assume it's $4.79 because if you convert 18 dirhams and 33 cents, it comes out to $4.99. So I guess it's actually $4.99 and not $4.79, but it is $4.79 and not $4.99. It's whatever. It's a whole thing. Also, in different countries, it's worth a little bit differently, and Yeet would actually announce that they'll be increasing the price for showbucks all across the board. So really, I think it's kind of fluid, I suppose. Before the 10.4 update, one of the bundles found in the offers tab, in my case, the Arcades Classic Pack, was in a row by itself, and the others would be consolidated. However, that's no longer the case, as it seems like you can see all three DLCs that are horizontal in the same row. The way the price is displayed has also been changed as well. It's been changed to the new decimal separator format. With the 10.4 update, the UI wasn't the only thing to get a fresh coat of paint. It seems like some maps got them as well. In this section, I'll go go over some changes I found and we'll also go over some bug fixes as well. The worker skin now has a strap added to the back of the helmet. Along with that, the builder, the alternative version of the worker, and the default skin in creative mode also has a helmet strap added as well. At first this change was quite jarring and I couldn't help but stay fixated at it, but it doesn't bother me much now. Just weird how after 2 years they altered those skins. I can see why, as a builder is the face of creative mode and I suppose the worker is the other version, so it would be weird if they adjusted one but not the other. Fun fact, the worker skin, or the one with the pink helmet, was released in season 3 and the builder would first show up in season 5 even though it's been in the files since season 3. I can't quite word this properly, but in Lily Leapers it feels like you can't dive as fast as you used to. Maybe they added a delay so you can't dive as fast. It almost feels like you're heavier when diving, if that makes any sense. Let me know if you've noticed any changes to diving in Lily Leapers. Not really a change to the game itself, but the news section on the Fall Guys website allows you to scroll through different pages, meaning you're now able to find old blog posts. You know, a basic feature every website has built in. It took them over 3 years to add different pages or a page scroller, but it's finally here. God, this company never ceases to amaze me sometimes. In the cosmetics tab, more specifically the nameplate section, they changed the order of the nameplates slightly. Here's a side-by-side comparison. The left is the 10.3 and on the right is the 10.4 update. Monarch was at the top but has been moved down. I believe they now sort your favorites in alphabetical order now because the non-favorited nameplates are in the same order. Also a slight change, they also lowered the nameplate that's on the podium a little bit in the 10.4 update. It's a very subtle change. I'll flick through the before and after a few times, but the change is apparent. They also did it to the nameplates on the selections as well. In Blast Ball, the floor tiles fall faster, like it's really noticeable. I'm not sure if this is a bug or if it's a purpose, but I'm thinking that's intentional. But yeah, they also fixed the squad elimination bug with this update. In season 10, they would make it to where when your entire squad is dead, it will show the elimination banner and then you could leave to get your rewards. You didn't have to wait till a round is over like in previous seasons. However, in the Summer Breeze or the 10.3 update, it was broken, so you had to wait till the game was over even though your entire team is dead. If you try to leave, it will still say your squad is in contention even though you aren't. But thankfully, it's been fixed now, which is great. While on the topic of bug fixes, Midnight released a whole list of fixes. I'll be showing them on screen as I speak. One of them was, quote, fixed slight misalignment on the player banner and crown rank in the main lobby, end quote, which is one of the changes I noticed in the main lobby, so it was a bug. That's interesting. They also mentioned, quote, fixed various round lighting issues on Nintendo Switch, end quote. I'm not familiar with this bug as I don't play the Switch. Could this be why some rounds got vaulted? When you qualify and someone immediately does the same, it now displays their name in the feed, whereas before, if you got first place and someone got second immediately after you, it wouldn't show their name. But with this update, it's been fixed. They also fixed some FPS drops you can experience, which is neat. I'll make sure to link the blog post in the description and the pinned comment so you can check it out for yourself. In season 10, the SpongeBob celebration didn't have the darkened background. However, in the 10.4 update, they changed it back to how it was in season 9. I'm very happy they decided to revert the change. Let's hope they also revert the Tomb Raider celebration, because right now it looks like they increased the brightness to 11 and it looks really bad in my opinion. When previewing the Among Us celebration, you couldn't see the stars in the background, but thankfully this has been fixed thanks to the Fall Force update. The skybox or background has changed in the creator made rounds. The change is really noticeable if I do a side-by-side comparison. However, that's not the thing that stands out the most. Digital theme rounds that previously had the digital skybox now has the original or classic one instead. It's so weird seeing digital themed obstacles in the season 1 background. It's been a few weeks since the update came out and they still haven't fixed this. Part of me think it's an intentional change to showcase a new feature, but I probably give them too much credit. I wouldn't be surprised if when Halloween comes out, they actually change the skybox for all the creator made rounds to the Halloween one as a way to celebrate Halloween. I think that would be pretty cool in my opinion. It seems like maps that use this particular shade of purple, such as Hit Parade and Slime Climb for example, have had it changed to this plum color. I won't be able to cover every map that's received a sudden change, but I'll go over the ones that I could find. Starting with the most obvious, Jump Club. The edges used to contain this normal looking purple, but now has been updated to plum purple. Hit Parade also received a change as well in the not so obvious places as well. For example, when dive sliding down the strip at the end has changed. So has the other two that comes after it, as well as the outer circle that's beneath the turnstile or the pink batons. Slime Climb also looks a little different. It seems that the bumpers at the start have lost their sprinkles once again. The last time this happened was in season 9, which was then fixed in season 10, but it seems like it's gone again. And what's funny, the bumpers in season 9 and the one in Fall Force are the exact same. They have that little patch at the bottom. Moving on, the walls that house the push-up blocks have changed to plum purple. If anything, whatever was a previous purple have changed colors. However, the walls weren't the only thing to change. The slime flooring has now been changed to pink, which I'll be honest does kind of make it hard to see the slime, but it looks nice. The purple at the start of Whirligig has been updated slightly as well, and it seems like the sprinkles on the bumpers after the belt are gone. They were on there in the Summer Breeze or the 10.3 update, update. Any part of the map that had the old purple has been changed. This was the change that I noticed right away, especially in the second half of the map. Gate Crash's ending portion has had its purple padding color change as well. Even creative maps have been affected by this plum takeover. And while looking over some clips, I noticed that even the edges on the spinning beam of the floor has been changed as well. Izzytorium probably upgraded the values for that particular shade of purple, and as a result, padded floors, walls, and even obstacles had its color altered. That's not even the end of the map changes. The blue floor in Fall Mountain has changed as well. They really sucked the life out of the blue. In the 10.3 update prior, the blue was much more vibrant. However, now it's much more muted. This change is also present in Seesaw as well. Oh yeah, and also the padded block near the end of Seesaw is actually changed to this pink, whereas before it was purple. Those were some of the map changes that I found. Let me know if you found any in the comment section below. Thank you to our Max members for your support. Click the join button to get videos early and ad-free, or just click the subscribe button, that's free.